Hi everyone. Now let's talk about the Festival and Theater Arts of China. Festival and Theater Arts of China. China is known for their traditional theater art form. So China, it has a traditional theater art that is the Peking opera or the Beijing opera, which combines music and vocal performance, pantomime, dance, and acrobatics. So when we say pantomime, this is the express meaning through gestures. So pantomime, it was the express meaning through gestures and accompanied by the music or the music instruments. Next, the visual performance elements. Backing opera performers utilize four main skills. So number one, song. Number two, speech. So it includes the the delivery of the lines of the characters. Number three, dance acting. It includes pantomime to express meaning through gestures. That was dancing. Number four is the combat or includes the acrobatics. Next one, picking opera training. So in picking opera training, pupils were often handpicked at young age by a teacher and trained for 7 years on contract from child's parents. So the teacher will pick up pupils at a young age and they will train for the 7 years, and of course it has a contract from the children's parent. Next one, they took place in more formally organized schools. So students of these schools rose as early as 5 o'clock in the morning for exercise. So the students they need to rise up as early as 5 o'clock in the morning for their exercise before the training. So in the daytime, they will spend learning the skills of acting and of course the combat. So earlier, the students they need to rise up as early as 5 o'clock for their exercise. Very good. And in the daytime, they will spend learning, of course, for the skills of acting and combat. Next one, for the senior high school, students perform in outside theater in the evening. That is for the seniors. Next one, roles and characters. The first one is Shang. Shang is the main male role in Peking opera. Shang is the main male role in Peking opera. Don't forget Shang. The first one is Xiao Shang. Xiaosheng actors are often involved with beautiful women by virtue of the handsome and young image they project. So Xiaosheng is a handsome dad project a young image, and Xiaosheng it involves the beautiful woman, and that is Xiaosheng. Next one is Wu Sheng. Wu Sheng is a martial character for roles involving a combat. So for you to able to project the character of Wu Sheng, you need to train or you need to highly train in acrobatics. And of course, you have to have a natural voice when singing. So that's the project of Wu Sheng, a martial character. Next one is Lao Sheng. Lao Sheng is a dignified older role. These characters have a gentle and cultivated disposition and wear sensible costumes. So Lao Sheng is a dignified older role. Next one. Next one is Dan. Dan refers to any female role in Peking opera. Dan refers to any female role in doing the Peking opera. The first one is Laudan. Laudan, Laudan rather. Laudan is an old woman. Laudan is an old woman. Next one is Wooden. Wooden is a martial woman. Wooden is a martial woman. Next one is the Dalmadan. Dalmadan are young female warriors. Okay, wag papalito ah. Wooden is a martial woman. And when we say Dalmadan, it's our young female warriors. Wooden, a martial woman. Dalmadan, a young female warriors. Next is Zhengdan or Qingyi, a virtuous and elite woman. Zhengdan or Qingyi are virtuous and elite women. Next, Jing. Jing is a painted face male role who plays either primary or a secondary role. So Jing must project a primary, either primary or a secondary roles. And Jing also this type of role entails a forceful character. So when you project the Jing character, you must have the forceful character because you will play either the primary or the secondary roles. So Jing actors must have a strong voice. But what we said earlier, forceful character. So Jing actors must have a strong voice and be able to exaggerate gestures. Okay, so the red color denotes loyalty and goodness, while white denotes evil, black denotes integrity. So I will repeat. So Jean, you must have a strong voice and also have an extra exaggerate gestures and with their colors. The red colors denotes loyalty and goodness, while white denotes for evil and black denotes for integrity. This one is an example of Jane characters. The wearing red denotes the loyalty and goodness. White, and then sa black, wala akong makitang picture ng Jane sa black. So ito lang yung dalawa. Next one is Chu. Chu is a male clown role. The Chu usually plays a secondary role whose name also means ugly. So Chu is a male clown role and it has a usually plays a secondary roles whose name as also means ugly. Okay, don't forget that. And this pictures is example of Chu. Okay. Let's proceed to the staging and costumes. Excuse me. Stage. It has a square flat boards. The actions on the stage is usually visible from at least sites. The stage were built above line of sights of the viewers, and some modern stages have been constructed with higher audience seating divided into two parts by an embroidered curtain called a shoji. So this one example of their stage. So for their stage, it has a three visual seating. This one. And some modern stage look like this one. Okay, let's proceed to the questions. Xingtu, popular known as Xingfu or Shaifu, the Chinese origins of Peking opera. So costumes can be traced back to mid 14th century. Next, they enabled yeah, let's go back. Pasensya na. So they enable the audience to distinguish the character sex and status at the first glance. If the characters is a noble or humble, civilian or military. Next, oblong wings attached to a goose hat indicate a loyal official. Oblong wings. Okay, this one. Next, for the props, utilizes very few props, will always have a table and at least one chair, which can be turned through conventions into such diverse objects as a city wall, a mountain, or a bed. Next one for the musicians are visible to the audience on the front part of the stage. So the musicians you will see in the front of the stage. For the viewers, always seated south on the stage, therefore north is the most important directions. Viewers, always seated south on the stage, therefore north is the most important directions. Very good. For the performers, immediately moves to the center north upon entering the stage. So all the characters enter from the east and exit from the west. Okay, now let's talk about the Chinese festivals. And we will now proceed to the Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is the longest and most important festival in the Chinese calendars. So it is the origin Chinese New Year is itself centuries old and gained significance because of several myths and traditions. So Chinese New Year's is the longest and most important festival in Chinese calendar. And we, as a Filipino, we also celebrate Chinese New Year, right? Next one, Chinese New Year is celebrated in countries and territories with significant Chinese popular like the place of mainland China, Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, and also Vietnam. So Chinese New Year is known as Spring Festival. The literal translations of Chinese name is Shunji. Shunji. Since the spring season in Chinese calendar start with Lai Chun or Li Chun. I think that's Lai Chun. Okay, next. The festival begins on the first day of the month in the traditional Chinese calendar and ends with the Lantern Festival, which is on the 15th day. So, Chinese New Year's Eve, a day where Chinese families gathered for their annual reunion dinner, is known as Sushai or Eve of the Passing Year. So, like as the Filipino, we also gathered in the evening. So, kapag sinasalubong natin yung New Year, di ba? So, ganun din pala sa mga Chinese. Now, let's talk about the Chinese costume and traditional concern. The first one is people will pour out their money to buy presents, decorations, materials, food, and clothing. So, ganito din tayo, di ba, mga Pilipino. um, Inahanda natin yung mga pagbili ng mga regalo, some decorations, mga materials, foods, clothing, di ba? May mga team color pa tayo. Next, houses are thoroughly clean in order to sweep away any ill fortune and to make way for a good incoming lax. So, ganun din tayong mga Pilipino. So, sa mga Pilipino naman is naglalagay sila ng barya sa mga bigas. Di ba? Yung naglalagay din sila ng mga bills, mga blue bills. And then sa mga windows, mga barya. Oo, sa ginawa na din namin dati yun. So dito naman sa Chinese, kailangan malinis in order to sweep away the fortune, the ill fortune, or the bad luck. And of course, to make a way for the incoming good luck. Next, windows and doors will be decorated with red color paper and couplets with popular themes of good fortune for happiness, wealth, and longevity. On the eve of Chinese New Year's, supper is a feast with the family's food will include items such as pork, duck meat, chicken, and sweet delicacies. Ano? Malisangan? So, on the eve of Chinese New Year, supper is a feast with family's food will include items such pork, duck meat, chicken, and sweet delicacies. And also the family will end the night with firecrackers. Para sa Pilipino lang. So children greet their parents early in the morning by wishing them a healthy and happy new year and receive money in the red and envelopes. So sa mga Pilipino yung iba ginagawa ko. Nagbibigay ng pera. Yung iba hindi naman. Okay, next. The Chinese New Year is to reconcile, forget all hatred, and sincerely wish peace and happiness for everyone. Now let's proceed to dragon dance and costumes. So dragon dance is a form of traditional dance and performance in Chinese cultures, like the lion dance. It is the most seen in festive celebrations. Don't forget that. Lion dance. Next, many Chinese people often use the term descendants of the dragon or the Long Dechwan ran as a sign of ethnic identity. So the emperor used dragon as symbol of his imperial power and strength. So the emperor used dragon as symbolizes of his imperial power and strength. strength. Next, the dragon symbolizes power, strength, and also good luck. So the dance team mimics the supposed movements of this river spirit in the flowing rise and fall manner. So the dance of dragon is like this one. So they need to mimic or they need to copy the movements of the dragon. They work like this. Next, the movement symbolizes power and dignity. So the main objectives of wearing Chinese costume is to maintain the sanctity of their traditions. Oh, the main object of wearing Chinese costume is the maintain the sanctity of their traditional. Let's forget that. So and also they get haircuts and makeovers so that they are fully ready to welcome the new year in a brand new style. Next one is Cheongsams. Cheongsam suit, it's for women, and Kipaos for men. The men, okay, I will repeat. Cheongsams, Cheongsam suits is for women, and Kipaos for a man. So the men wear the Mandarin colored shirts with Chinese dragon symbols, traditional kung fu suits, and coats. And also the children's wear dragon costumes and the kung fu suits. So this one is the examples of their suits. The first picture is the cheongsams. It's for women. And kipaos is for the, ay no, 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 no. Kipaos for the men. And the kung fu suits look like this one. Okay, next. And thank you for listening. That's all.